Is this going to be as cool as the tomato tree living with the land? I don't know. But from a civilian trying to recreate some of the fun magic of living with the land at home, I sure hope so. I think we're off to a good start with our new 10 by 10 structure, which is going to be fantastic, renter-friendly, DIY tomato tree trellis. Starting off with this cool little model. This is a model based off of minis from MakerPipe. And who's MakerPipe, you might ask? MakerPipe are the people, the American company, small company, formerly I believe on Kickstarter, that came up with these nice steel fittings that help make structures like this possible. There's fittings for EMT conduit, and EMT conduit is great for a lot of different reasons, but we'll talk about that more later. But when you're buying from them, you can pick up some minis and make small scale diagrams of your projects. And that's what helped me get to this, and that way we could visualize what we're making. Right, Wally? Hello? He's focusing really hard. Thanks, Wally. Hi. Okay, thanks for coming out, big guy. This morning we're out in the garden and we are going to be talking about our new tomato tree. Is it actually a tomato tree? Sort of, kind of. It is inspired by the Living with the Land tomato tree, and while we aren't running a hydroponic system or anything with it, we are doing something fun where we're using Earthboxes, and we're going to have tomato trees essentially going up and over, which isn't the same as a trellis. Sort of, I don't know, except for we're going to use a couple tomatoes because I don't have a team of professional horticulturalists to maintain one tomato that long, so I have some backups in play. But we're going to be covering this structure and what we made. So as you can see on the screen, there's pictures of some of the tomatoes that you can see at Epcot's Living with the Land, also known as pretty much my favorite ride ever. And I always love seeing what they do with the tomatoes in there. I think it's just so cool. More big picture, we're renters. We have a small garden. It's probably from the fence to the house, I'd say, I think it's about 14 feet when I measured it, so not super huge. This is a 10 by 10 foot structure, so 10 feet length and width. And the height is about 7 feet, so that way we can reach the top, we can help encourage the growth to go through, and more importantly, we can pick the tomatoes and troubleshoot as needed. I need to give this boy some love. I'm too cute. Oh, so nice. Oh, Moose is an outdoor dog, if you guys are new to the channel. Not literally, it's too hot in Florida to leave him out here all the time, but he loves being out here, and even as a baby, he would come out in the Florida thunder and lightning and rain, and he would just take a nap in the yard because he likes water and dirt and really anything outdoors. Okay, big fella. Let's continue our tour. So, being renters and having a limited space, I wanted something that was, one, something that I could take with us when we move, and two, something that could handle the heat in Florida. And I think a lot of people have made PVC towers for either aeroponic or hydroponic purposes, grow tower purposes, and that's fine. The problem I have with PVC is plastic. It's a plastic. There is a lot of concern amongst gardeners about what it leaches into your food and your water. There's not really food grade plastic that you're building structures like this with. And two, and debatably most importantly, it is Florida, so that plastic is going to take a beating, whereas EMT conduit, which is what this structure is built out of, is going to do much, much better. It's going to be able to hold a lot more weight. It's going to stand up to the sun and the heat a lot better. We don't have to worry about it leaching into anything. And third, and it was on my radar when we started the project, but then once we found the right supplies, it really, really became more apparent that this is important for us, is I wanted something that if we're going to invest all this time and energy and money in, I want something that we can break down and move with us, and that will actually, I don't want to say be designed to move, but Kind of. And what I mean by that is if you make a PVC structure like this, it'll probably be fine. It'll probably hold up. But when you glue it and you assemble it and everything, once you put it together, you're not really supposed to take it apart. With the EMT conduit, you can, because it's in umbrella bases. So just a regular umbrella stand bases from Home Depot, nothing crazy. And then all of the fittings and the joints are from a company called Maker Pipe, which I recently discovered while I was researching. And why I like them is because, one, they're a small company, American based, and they're stainless steel. So, or I don't know if it's stainless steel, but steel. And so made in America steel that is meant to be assembled and disassembled and reused a million times. I really like that. So it's worth it to me. So you can see these are some of the corner joints, or the 90-degree joints. And they go together really easily. It was a hex wrench. And I'll link to all of them down below, so you can see what I'm talking about. But they're really cool products. I'm really excited to do some more with the extra EMT conduit that I have over there. And so really, this was a two-person job, just because of the length of everything. If you were making a smaller one, you could probably do it yourself. We needed 2 people for this one. But really what we did was 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot, or 10 foot all around, big 10-foot square. And then we put a support in the middle. So you don't have to cut anything, because EMT conduit comes in 10-foot lengths. So no cutting there. And then the only things that needed to be cut were these poles, because we did 3/4 inch poles for the main structure. So everything up here is 3/4 inch, and we cut them to 7 feet. So that means we have 3-foot sections times 4. So we have 4 3-foot sections over here that we can use for something else in the future. I don't know. And then because of the umbrella stand bases, those are usually wider pipes, and we wanted to make sure it was a secure base. What we did was we got umbrella stands, and you might have to, they're all a little bit different. Oh, hold on, we got some dirt angels. Oh, of course the church's moose. We got an umbrella stand that we tried out in the store to make sure it can hold slightly smaller pipes, and that way we can put the 1-inch pipe into the umbrella stand, secure it pretty well, and we just cut them in half, so they're 5 feet. So this is 5 feet, and then we put the 3/4 inch pipe inside it, so it's kind of extra secure, in my opinion. I don't know if Moose agrees. Moose, do you agree? Yeah. TBD. And here, I'm going to take a step back. Now, the only thing on this that probably won't come with us whenever we do decide to move is the netting up top. And we just got cheap netting that said it was 5 foot by 15 feet. Is it? I don't know. If it was, the 10 feet would be covered, and we're really having a hard time stretching it out. But we figured for a first go, this is pretty good. If we can confirm that this general structure works, what we're wanting to do is get some of the, I think these are like 4-inch squares. You can get the big rolls of kind of metal wire. Well, it's not really wire, it's definitely metal. You can get big rolls of it, pretty much the same, 3 or 4 feet by, I think, 20 feet or something, and just make a couple big panels across the top and zip tie them in. But I just didn't want to have that cost until we knew the structure and everything was good. And I want to have at least a wave or 2 of tomatoes coming across, so that way we can kind of see how it holds up. Now let's go over here and look at the tomatoes. We have 2 Earthboxes technically primed to go through here. And we have 4 different types of tomatoes in between the 2 boxes. Oh, look, Wally's joining us. Hey, Wally. Hey, yo, big guy. The reason we are a little like, this could go well or not. So in the Living with the Land, on that ride, when you look at the tomato tree, there's really 1 tomato per, what I'm assuming is 20 to 30 feet by 30 feet. I mean, it's really sprawled out. They do have them I think in probably 10-foot sections, because I'm assuming they're doing the same thing we're doing. Like, oh, this is a 10-foot by 10-foot thing. Like, that's a great, easy round number to work with. But what they're doing is they're just doing one plant that keeps growing and growing. I'm not convinced that any of these tomatoes will make it that far, to be honest, because Florida's crazy. And these are all kind of new to me varieties, which in hindsight, maybe not the best idea, but also probably not the worst idea. But this one on the far end we saw up there, those are sun sugars, so they're probably about this big. Everybody has that one. Moose is ours. He's just happy to be out here. The second tomato in this one is a German Queen, and if you watch the recent garden tour videos, you know that we had the biggest tomato I've ever grown got compromised and attacked overnight by, I'm assuming, a mouse or squirrel or God knows what in Florida. So that right there is two very different sizes. And also you can see where that white bag is there. That's the only German Queen left on the line. We have not gotten a single edible fruit off of that. There's foliage and greenery, but it's not producing anything yet. So what we're thinking is we'll have the sun sugar in the lead, working its way over. That has a lot of fruit, but smaller fruit that ripen quicker and can be harvested quicker. So as that's making its way across, the greenery and hopefully some occasional tomatoes from the German Queen will start over. This one's growing a lot slower than the grape sized tomatoes next to it. So we're hoping that it'll kind of be, I don't know, a quarter of the way behind. We're not really sure. And then over here, obviously this one's really full. It's already starting. These were planted much later than those. And these tomatoes over here are, these are, I believe, sunrise bumblebees. It's my first time growing them. We've gotten a few so far and they're very delicious. I'm really liking them. And then these, I can't remember, I'll put in the description. It's a new one. It's like an Italian variety that's, I mean, grape, small ones. They're pretty good. I mean, you could pop them in your mouth. They're big, but they're good. So these are going to grow in a different set of clusters and at a different speed, we think. So you can tell this one's here. This one's already up here. So that's probably what, 1.5 feet or so already. So we're feeling like it's kind of got a natural progression built into this. And that way, when they start working their way over, everything will have room. And if we look at it from here, we can kind of tell that it's gonna, because the furthest most along is on that end, it's gonna slowly work its way where more and more coverage is coming this way. Right, Moose? Yeah. Oh, he knows he's cute, and if he rolls over, he gets belly rubs. And who could say no to this handsome boy? Okay. Okay. Thanks, Moose. This is so nice. Everybody needed to know you were getting belly rubs. Okay. So that was pretty cool, right? I kind of feel like we're starting our own little Disney garden here because we have the green stalk towers over here with the impatiens inspired by the towers that you see in the entrance of Epcot. I don't know when the last time you guys were there, but there's usually some sort of towers with big flowers and stuff, especially during the festivals, like the flower and garden show. I even got my shirt on while I'm wearing this because apparently I love my Disney more than I realize. But now we have a tomato tree inspired by Living with the Land. So that's going to be really fun to watch it evolve over the summer. It's May now in Florida, so it's going to be kind of peak growing season for a little bit. I'm going to slow down, and I mean, the Earthboxes that we're running over here are all getting automatic watering systems ran to them, so the tomatoes are getting water when they need it. So we don't have to worry about rain or anything like that watering them. They're going to be well taken care of. And then as we get some worm castings, we'll be giving them a little fertilizer boost here soon, just keeping them healthy and strong and resilient. So if you want to see how this tomato tree grows in, how we take care of it, some of the challenges that we don't know yet what they're going to be, but I'm sure there's going to be some, make sure you subscribe, and we hope to see you soon. And the puppies will be here, and they're always on Instagram. So if you want to follow them at our Fluffy Wally on Instagram, and you can always follow me. I don't post a whole lot on there, but at Gardening with Alessandra, if you like to see some just random updates about what we are harvesting or the roses we're picking that day or all sorts of random things. But more importantly, subscribe so you don't miss out on seeing this tomato tree grow in, because it can only be good things, right? Like tomatoes, more tomatoes, sides of tomatoes, 4 different types of tomatoes. Actually, all of the tomatoes are new to me. So, I don't know, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna learn things. We're gonna figure out what not to do probably. So subscribe. Okay, bye friends. Thanks for watching this.